This is Bruce Bochy, and you're listening to the Ranger Report.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. If you want the inside scoop, listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers, from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. I am Ben Dieter. You can find me on the X, Twitter, whatever it's called now, at BDieter75.
Yeah, I'm on that thing, I guess, too. At CJB_RR on the X-rated Twitter app thing.
And I am Tyler Nilsson. You can find me on that porn site at TPN 1983.
And we are joined tonight by a special guest, former Ranger, now Kansas City Royal pitcher, Cole Ragans. Cole, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How about y'all? Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, doing good, man. We had another former Ranger on a couple weeks ago, Mason Englert. I bet you remember Mason. Yeah, he came on. So apparently we're doing the former Rangers tour right now on our podcast. But I mean, you were always one of our favorite. We were sad when you got traded, and of course, especially if you watch the playoffs, the way that Aroldis Chapman pitched, it got all of us like sweating bullets every single time he threw. So,
oh man, no, I mean, I was watching from home. I watched all the playoffs, every game. I literally watched every game, text back and forth with a few of the guys. So it was fun to watch.
When you
come back to Texas,
you get a ring, right?
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say you contributed, so I believe you get a ring.
I believe. So we'll see.
Tyler wants to see it. Believe me, Tyler.
I want to see that bad boy.
All right, so let's start. You went to Kansas City. It was kind of weird. They made you a starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just a starter. And I mean, we kept up. You had a pretty darn good end to the season, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Pretty lights out. You had a whip of 103, bro. That's pretty lights out. 12 starts, 76 Ks. Yeah, you had a good time.
I mean, got in a little groove there for a little bit and tried to run with it, keep it going as long as I could.
So let me ask you, was the mentality change different? You went to Kansas City, and I'm sure it was kind of more relaxing when they said, hey, you're going to be a starting pitcher. No more back and forth, which you dealt with the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I've always started, so the relieving, like I was, learning as I went, and I enjoyed it. Like the guys down there, I asked them as many questions as I could. Tried to learn from the guys that have been doing it for a while, stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. But got over there, went back to starting, built back up, and just tried to keep the same mentality of just like attack guys and. Just try to run with it, go as far as I can. Watching when I was with Texas, watching those guys, the starters, Evaldi, those guys, how they went about it. I mean, Evaldi was incredible. He had that stretch where it was like, I felt like every time he started, it was a complete game or, 8 innings. So it's like watching stuff like that. It's your guys in the bullpen really appreciate when you do stuff like that. So it's, trying to just go as far as I could in a game.
Yeah, Nate Evaldi threw a complete game in 1 hour and 57 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there for that.
Yeah, that was the one against, was that New York?
Yeah.
I was against the Yankees. Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to get you to walk us through it since we don't talk to a lot of people that have been traded. Did you have any idea it may happen? And how does it feel when you find out, hey, by the way, you're going to a different team tomorrow? Good luck.
So it was still so early. I mean, I think it was June 29th, maybe. Yeah. So it's still like a month until the trade deadline.
Right,
so we knew there was going to be moves made. Nobody really knew what the moves were going to be or who was going to be a part of it or anything like that. So, got called in the office and told, and I mean, It was, I mean, all I had ever known was Texas. So it was like, I'd made, friends that'll last a lifetime. I still talk to a lot of the guys over there essentially on a daily basis. So, but, new beginning, got over there, met the guys, everybody, welcomed me pretty quick. It was fairly easy. I mean, got to know the guys. I mean, heck, in baseball season, you're around the guys at the field essentially more than you are around your family. So you get to know them pretty quick.
Before I turn this over to Tyler, because Tyler has a lot he wants to ask you about. But so when we heard we got Aroldis Chapman, we were like, yeah. And then we found out Cole Ragans was sent to the Royals. It was like, no.
I joked with CJ that everyone whose number we had gotten like dealt away or left over the last year and a half. So.
Oh man, no, it was definitely it was emotional there for a little bit, but it got easy.
Tyler?
Yeah, Cole. Like I said, you were my first cherry popper, so I miss you, man. Every game I saw Chapman come in, I was like, man, we need Cole. But
oh man,
I read a really good article about you recently. It was talking about your velocity from year 2022 to this year. It went from 92.1 to 96.5 or 6, I believe. What do you attribute that to? Your success, and would you just say your arm strength getting stronger with all the surgeries you've had, or what would you say is the biggest part of that?
So I actually went to this place called Tread Athletics in Charlotte, North Carolina. A lot of guys go there. So, one of my buddies that he's a high school, I went to high school with him. We live in the same neighborhood. We hang out every day, play catch, work out at the same time, like all that kind of stuff. And he had started it right at the end of the season last year. And we started the off season, started lifting, and we're like 2 days in and I'm watching his stuff. And it's just like, we're talking about it and it's so in depth and so like tailored to who he was and what he needed to work on. I was like, all right. So you like go online and fill out this sheet and stuff. And like, I told him on the sheet, I was like, hey, I'm not bought in. I just want to talk and like, see what you guys are about, see what you have for me. And we had like a 30-minute phone call. And at the end of the phone call, I was bought in. And so, went from there, did a full movement assessment. They learned how I move. They had videos from, 2022 and just essentially gave me a bunch of mobility stuff. And I mean, there's a lot of things that they gave me. It's like they give me workouts. They give me these, it's called corrective. So it's like all these things that are just moving different parts of your body, like kind of stretching, moving them just to get them moving better, essentially. And they give you throwing program, stuff like that, things to look for in certain pitches. But went there and so my last live BP before I left, I usually try to throw a live BP or two before I get to spring training, just to like make sure I'm in a good spot. And I like touch 95. So I was like, all right, I'm in a good spot. I've done this, previous years. And then I got to my first outing of spring training and it was like bumped to like 98.8 or something. And
yeah,
everybody's kind of looking at me like, what in the world? And I'm kind of looking at them like, I don't know, like kind of shocked as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, obviously it paid off. I mean, like you said, you weren't bought in at first, but obviously it did pay off. And you could tell the success that you had since you left the Rangers. And I think a change of scene was good for you. And like I said, we are cheering you on, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that Tread is, I mean, I'm still doing it. Like it's like a year membership and I renewed it at the end of the season. And it's like, I'll go there for as long as I play baseball. The guys at Tread are freaking awesome. Like just, I mean, a lot of them play baseball or played baseball. So it's like, they know the whole thing, the deal, of what it's like and, how some days you feel great and some days you don't. And, it's awesome. Like I said, I'll go there for as long as I play.
So did you work? Oh,
go ahead, Ben.
Okay. Did you work on just velocity there? Did you work on shapes and pitches and other things, or was it mostly velocity?
No, like my thing really wasn't like, it wasn't even to gain velocity wasn't the main reason I went there. It was just like to maintain, because like previous years I would come into spring training, I'd bump like a 96 in spring training. And then, a month in, I'm throwing 90 to 93, touching 94 maybe. By the end of the year, it's like, velo's down even more. So it was like our main goal was just maintain and keep my body moving how it should move. And then it just, the velo just kind of came with it, I guess.
And talk about that. I saw it on Twitter, the video you had, kind of an instruct video about how, like you're saying, getting your body to be all in one motion and being able to throw a baseball as hard as you can with the least amount of effort. So that was cool to watch. And just kind of talk about that. And Major League season is long, long and hard. So kind of have you learned how to maybe condition yourself to go all 162?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I keep Tread sends me my workouts throughout the season too. And like my guy that I'm in contact with at Tread, like we text back and forth and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, like he might ask me, how you feeling? He watches, he'll go back and rewatch like my starts and stuff, make sure my stuff looks like it should. All that, if I have a question, I shoot him a text and be like, hey, why do I feel like this? Or this feels like I'm doing this. And he'll kind of break it down and, see what he sees. And then it's just another brain kind of, looking at it, especially when he knows the in-depth stuff a lot better than I do. Like I know it a little bit, but he really knows the in-depth. And so like, there's like movements I'm doing where it's, ankle mobility, hip mobility, T-spine, there's like a point in my throwing program in the off season where
little tiny little things that people don't pay attention. They just think, this guy's going out there and just throwing a ball. No, it's a lot more that goes into it than that.
Yeah. So, they just, like I said, they just gave me all these movements and it just kind of pieces everything together and gets my body in the right spot when I'm trying to throw the ball. And they're incredible.
Well, that's pretty awesome. This is your first full major league season. So it's pretty cool that you got hooked up with them right before that. And then you stayed, just like Mason Englert in his first full major league season. Kind of cool to see you guys now, being successful in the major leagues. You were successful for the Rangers, but like you said, it was difficult to have to jump from bullpen starter, but all the stuff they did to you. It's kind of nice when you have that set role. I know you guys are big about routine. So I know it's really nice for you guys to have that set role and to know what you're going to be doing as you go out each 5 days.
Yeah, as a starter, it was, as a bullpen, completely different routine. It's like be ready every day, unless it's, I threw, 3 innings the day before or something like that. But as a starter, it's every 5th day, be ready. So if it's, just try to prepare for that day. If my body doesn't feel good one day, it's like, all right, I'm going to take it easier today. And that way, the goal is to feel the best on the day you throw in the game. So just trying to prepare for that.
Tyler?
Hey, Cole, I'm kind of going to revert back to one of the last episodes we had with Mason. Now that the season's done and the season is approaching us, it'll be here right before you know it. Kind of run us through your daily schedule. We asked Mason the same thing. Will you kind of run us through your daily schedule leading up to the season?
Yeah, so like right now it's, wake up somewhere around, usually it's between 9:30. Wake up, cook some breakfast, go work out. Usually working out from about, get to the place somewhere around 10:45 probably. I take my time waking up, eat breakfast, make sure I get my breakfast in. Get there, and I try to get to the gym at the time where there's like me and the guys that work out at the same time. We try to get there because it's not just baseball players in there. There's, all kinds of people in there. So it's try to get there when there's the least amount of people, just so we're not in other people's way and stuff like that. But go there usually around 10:45, leave there. I'm usually there for about, I'd say 2 hours. And then
2 hours?
Well, it's like the movement stuff takes me about an hour. And, some days you get caught talking with the guys and stuff like that. And then it takes me about an hour to lift. And then, leave there, go throw. once I start throwing, which I have. So it's go throw. And then after throwing, it's kind of open. Some days I might go hit golf balls. Some days I might just come home and sit around the house, play video games. Some days I might, have yard work to do or something like that. So it just kind of depends. After I get done throwing, it kind of just varies on the day.
Yeah, it sounds like just relax. Relax.
Yeah.
And so one thing, and Ben knows this, and Tyler knows this. I'm a pitcher intricate person. I love seeing the ball coming out of the hand. And so your first start, me and Tyler were watching that together, and you were killing with the changeup away and cutter away, and then busting inside with the cutter. And so you have those two pitches, and we kind of you threw one curveball and it almost got knocked to shit, like complete. Yeah, it was a foul ball. So me and Tyler were like, "Don't throw another curveball."
but CJ, I'm not gonna lie. Cole has some filthy off-speed pitches, and I think that's what's led to your success. Your off-speed stuff is absolutely ridiculous.
That changeup,
that changeup is ridiculous.
Thank you.
All right, I wanted to ask you about another pitcher who I'm sure you're friends with, and the way he pitched in the postseason almost unexpectedly, and that's Cody Bradford. The way that he came in off the bullpen and saved a couple of those games in both the ALCS and the World Series. I guess you weren't surprised since you know him, but he was so good in the minors. I mean, to see him succeed like he did in the World Series was amazing.
I mean, it's an invisible essentially. It's just, it's I've watched it for the past. We played together in high A, double A. It's. I've just seen him. Guys will make 91 look like it's 100. Like just get absolutely blown up, and it's not like, he's got good extension, really good fastball, and he attacks you, and he's got a really good changeup. So it's like. But it's a literal invisible, I feel like.
So let's talk about that. The extension that he gets. Somebody I can't remember who it was that I was watching the game, and they said that Cody Bradford had such good extension. It's almost like he's handing the baseball.
Yeah, to the catcher. It's over 7 feet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's. Bradford's one of the best human beings you'll ever meet. So.
We had him on the show right before he made it to the Rangers, so we were pretty excited to get that before he got called up.
So. We're kind of known now for talking to the Rangers before they hit, they get the big call, So, it's just it has to feel kind of weird a little bit, because you were a part of that team. You were an integral part of the middle relief bullpen. But you helped, regardless of, whether you finished the season with us or not, you helped win a world championship, period.
Yeah. I was a part of the team, but those guys that finished it are incredible. It's fun to sit back and watch.
But I think it takes every player. I think it takes every single player from the beginning of the season to the end. That's what makes a championship team. And you were part of that, Cole, and you are well deserved of getting that championship ring and wear it around proudly.
Because put it in a safe.
I was gonna say, or put it in a safe.
Yeah. You deserve it though, bud. But no, let's go back a little bit. You were talking about, we just got done talking about Cody Bradford. Let's talk about some of the other players you do stay in contact. Who are some of your best friends that still remain with the Rangers that you stay in contact?
Great question.
On a daily basis.
A daily basis? I play, Brock Burke. I talk to Burke a lot. Throughout the season, I'd keep in touch with Evaldi a little bit. We'd text back and forth here and there. I might see something on, in the clubhouse or an outing or something like that. Like I watched all through the playoffs. I watched his outing in Tampa. So it's like I watched his Game 5 World Series. Like,
what do you think about his splitter?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But he's one of the most outgoing and best people I've ever met. Like he was new in spring training, and him being a veteran guy, I kind of tried to, I watch, watch the veteran guys, but kind of, let them warm up to everyone. And then if they want to talk to me, they will. And he was immediately first day. It was, super outgoing, unbelievable human being.
And so correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a story that Nate was one of those guys that even on the off days was calling y'all, all the pitchers, to watch just a bullpen session for everybody. He's like, no, let's watch, let's see, let's just, encourage and also critique. Is that true or not?
I have not. It could have happened after I left.
Okay.
But it wouldn't shock me. I mean, he works so hard, and it's honestly watching him do what he does in games, in the playoffs, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't shock me with how, he puts in the work. It's incredible. He's unbelievable player, unbelievable person.
So the good thing for you, Cole, is you get to go to the same place for spring training. You'll just be in the other locker room.
Yeah.
So at least you're still going to Surprise, Arizona. Hopefully CJ and I should be there. So we'll stop by
we plan on being there. Yep. Yes, sir.
We'll come say hi to you. We'll do something fun. So we may take you out to lunch or something, or dinner if you have time.
All right.
Shut up.
I thought you told me to shut up.
No, it's Alexa.
You're okay. That's better.
Alexa, shut up.
I love technology.
My bad.
Love technology. All right,
Give me my football updates.
Oh, okay. All right, Cole, let's move a little bit away from baseball. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving this week?
We're staying at home. My in-laws are going to come into town, so go over to my my wife's grandparents, do Thanksgiving over there in town. So nothing too crazy. So
you don't have to prepare all the food?
No, we'll do it. Well, my wife and her mom will, cook whatever they're cooking, and then we'll take it over to her grandparents and, eat there.
Where am I going to be, Tyler?
You will be spending Thanksgiving with me and Jamie this year.
Well, I'm bacheloring it this week. My wife is out of town, so that's why,
Well, Ben, if you live closer, you could. If you live closer, you could.
Ben's going crazy.
I'm having a great week, man. I love my wife and all, but 3 or 4 days without her is kind of cool sometimes. When you've been married 25 years, so
get that little break, huh?
That's great.
But, she'll be back. We're going to the in-laws' house, so it'll be a lot of fun. So
we usually switch back and forth. Like last year, it was Thanksgiving with my side, Christmas with hers. This year, it's the opposite.
Yep. So wow, you guys are just like normal people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, believe it or not, major league pitchers do put on their pants one leg at a time.
Well, Cole, this has been great, man. Thank you so much for taking the time on Thanksgiving week to visit with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for having me on.
I want to go down.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Ben. Oh, I was going to say, I want to go down for your first game. Hopefully when it's back in Arlington, so they can present you with the ring there. I think it'll be your first game. I think it'll be your first game when you return.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Both me and Tyler might be there. So,
and we'll be pulling for you, Cole, in Kansas City. Best of luck. Hopefully you guys have a good year this coming year.
Hey,
yes, sir. Thank you.
You got traded away or whatnot. I told you, the Ranger Report does not leave a man behind. You're our boy, Cole. You're especially Tyler's boy.
Always, man. Always.
Thank you.
All right, Cole. Have a great holiday, man. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all as well.
Welcome to the Ranger Report podcast, always coming to you from the Preferred Health Solutions studio, always brought to you by Walton's, everything but meat. And by the way, I cooked some burgers today while watching the Cowboys game and rubbed some better burger seasoning on there from Walton's. Anyway, we're also part of Fans First Sports Network and brought to you as well by our friends at Dallas Sports Nation. I'm CJ Berriman. You can find me at CB_RR on the X thing, whatever. Just a little blip for y'all. Aaron Nola just signed a 7-year, $172 million contract with the Phillies, to stay with the Phillies. Now, the question was posed to me, would you give that money to Jordan Montgomery? My initial reaction was no. But when you look at it, Jordan Montgomery is already crafty. He's already crafty, throwing 94 on the outside corners and change-ups and curveballs. I mean, he's already become crafty, a la Kenya Rogers. So he can extend, I believe he can extend his career into his 40s. And Jamie Moyer, same thing, left-handed pitcher that became crafty with the changeup and the fastball combination. And that's what Jordan Montgomery has for him. And just by judging off what he did in the playoffs for the Rangers this past year and helping lead them to a World Series championship. You know what? When I look at it now, yeah, bring him back. Some of the exact same deal, I'd be happy. 7 years. So both Nola and Montgomery are 30 years old. I'll take Montgomery. Smells like a champion. So we need to bask in the glory that we had with that World Series. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's never happened before. So bask in it. But we do have to look at the offseason, and Andrew Heaney picked up his player option to return. Jose Leclerc his option was picked up. They're both going to be Rangers again next year. Jose Leclerc was a guy in the middle of the summer that me and Ben were actually asking each other, do we have to DFA this guy? Holy crap, were we wrong? And thankfully we were wrong. His slider was untouchable, but he also threw the changeups, and he's not just a two-trick pony. And that's the guy the Rangers signed to a contract extension 4 years ago. You saw it, and it got us a world championship. And let's talk about unsung heroes. Josh Sborz. Me and Ben, we were talking about it, I think, last year, and we agree that if Josh Sborz is on, he's untouchable. What did you see in the playoff run? What did you see as a final pitch in the World Series? That dude can be nasty, hugely nasty. So that, you got him and Clerk shoring up the back end of the bullpen, but now we got to talk about Josh Hader. Would we love to have a Josh Hader? Oh yeah. However, the asking price is going to be astronomical. And Shohei Ohtani, that guy, has been tied to the Rangers too. Here's the thing. What I want you folks to understand is when you're world champions going into the offseason, every big name free agent is going to be tied to you. Every damn one. So don't get overexcited, overhyped. I do not see the Rangers landing either Hader or Shohei Ohtani. Just put those to bed, and let's start looking at other free agents. You can add three solid relievers on the back end of the bullpen at the cost it would take for one Hader. So keep that in mind. So yeah, we spent a lot of money on DeGrom, who pretend he's not going to be here. Just forget about him. He'll be back in 2025. Sorry. And just forget about him. So you're starting rotation going in next year. Max Scherzer, Andrew Heaney, big game Nathan Eovaldi, Dane Dunning, right there. You're set with the top 4. John Gray. By the way, talk about heroes. What a job John Gray did. Coming in relief, something he'd only done once before the playoffs, and he was unhittable. John Gray, aside from Corey Seager and Corey Seager, John Gray was, to me, the unspoken hero of the World Series, because the dude came in and just was lights out. And I mean, there's a lot of folks we can talk about. Evan Carter being the first rookie at his age hitting third in the lineup since Ted Williams, and he did not disappoint us. He did not. And Josh Young, unfortunately, got, I guess you could say, overshadowed a little bit, but he showed his worth. And that was the Rangers' number 8 hitter. And Leody Taveras, who I covered here in Amarillo when he was at Frisco. And I've always fought and battled and just the naysayers with him. The dude's a ball player. He's special. And I think it's just about liftoff time for him, which means the back end of your batting lineup transitions over and makes it easier on guys like Mark Semien, Corey Seager, Evan Carter, Adolis Garcia. It just makes it so much easier on them. And we got a lot of exciting baseball to watch as Rangers fans. And finally, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who allows us to invade your ears every now and then. We wouldn't have continued doing this. I say Ben wouldn't have continued doing this if it wasn't for y'all, period. And thank you. And with that, I drop the deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.